Hey guys and gals, look what we have on the workbench today. It is Olaf and Bruni's Picnic Fun by Lego Disney. This is set number 43287, contains 478 pieces, retails for $49.99, and this set was provided by the Lego Group for early review. Thank you, Lego. Well, obviously I can tell this is Olaf. I've seen him around before, and this is Bruni, I believe, and this is Disney Frozen. Boy, it looks cold out there, doesn't it? So we have a nice little picnic blanket with some accessories and all sorts of stuff. That's not too bad. And here's the top. Oh, we get a snowflake, and it's 1-to-1 too. That's always cool. And that's just the back here with the various actions. And just by first impressions, this one looks interesting. I'm not really into brick-built animals, but this one here doesn't look all that bad. And the box is a bit on the dark, gloomy side, but, well, we don't know. Alright, let's see what kind of parts are inside here. We gotta let Olaf out of the box so he can have a picnic with Bruni. I filled paper bags in there. Oh, yeah. This thing is packed pretty good. I'm hoping it's not packed sloppy, but I'm having a hard time pulling out the building guide. And then we got loose parts in there too. Alrighty, let's keep it smart today. I keep the box by me so I can read it off when I'm doing the build. And yeah, well, let's see here. Well, Lego, it looks like we got a little bit of a quality control here. I don't like to see my guides ripped because I saved them. So this is part 1 and part 2. So it looks like it could possibly be a collaborative build. We don't know. And we also have a 32 by 32 stud base plate. Not too bad at all. Or a 16 by 16 stud base plate. I better be careful. Somebody will get mad at me and flag me for that. And we got several numbered bags here. And yeah, I'm kind of in tutorial mood today, but I got sets to do. Oh, here's another building guide. Yeah, I'd say that this thing was packed kind of sloppy. I'm going to go ahead and when I have to dig for building guides, yeah, let's see how the rest of this goes here. Well, this one's got a lot of bags here. Let's see what we have here. So we got a 6, obviously. There's a 5. Alright, we got a 4. 3, 2, 1. So we have 6 bags of bricks, all in paper bags, and 3 building guides in this. Now, does this come with a brick separator? I don't think it does. Usually it's like either bluish green or orange, and I do not see it anywhere in here. Unless they brought out a new color. Why does it matter? Well, some people want to know if there's a brick separator with these, and I don't blame them. No, for a $49.99 set, it should at least came with one. Well, that's not going to do any good, because there's a lot of small pieces that if we make a mistake, we're going to have to separate. Okay, so how am I going to break this set down here? There are 3 building guides, and we have 6 bags, so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to break this down yet. So what I'm thinking of is just take a peek in here. It looks like this is accessories. That's not too bad. We can manage that. Here's bag 2. And kind of hiding right now, and today is the 5th of November 2025. So it looks like this one here just does Olaf, and then the building guide number 1 here, Bruni. So I think I'm going to try to do this one here in one build installment. The review is going to be very easy, and that's pretty much where I'm going to be with this one today. We'll get into some stuff today here too. Why I'm hiding. Why I'm hiding. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. And we're just going to split this thing down here. Now, these parts were floated in the bottom. This set's already starting at a loose 10. just because the way it was packed, this was slightly ripped. I hope yours is not like that. Now, do I care? Not really. Don't worry, I've already scanned that, so you don't have to worry about that. And yeah, let's get going here. Alright, let's begin. Let's do it, starting with bag 1. And I'm going to try to get this that one done as quickly as I can. Yeah, the porch pirates have been thick out here today. Even out here, and I'm like, really? I'm trying to make sure that I can get this glare off this camera where I can just see what I'm doing. I have a brand new memory card, so hopefully this is... So yeah, buckle up your seatbelt, kids, because we're going to be here for a while. Because I'm thinking I'm just doing this one in one installment, just so I don't have to split this one down. Hopefully it'll go quick, but these are animal figures. Usually they take a long time. So yeah, we're doing, I think, Bruni today. They're having a picnic. And these are colors that I don't normally build with, which is even better. Yeah, I'm kind of hiding out right now, not from drama, but the doorbell has been a-ringing today. Let me get this readjusted for you guys. My nephew's friends sometimes will try to stop by here, and they kind of want to just hang out. And today, I don't feel like doing any of that. And plus, these guys are like a fraction of my age. As much as I want to be a young guy, today I got to get some stuff done, which is reviews. I can't just keep stopping. So it's like I've been kind of hiding from all that today here. Ooh. And plus, it's the holidays. I saw a strange car out in the front of the house. It's like, well, who is that? So I pulled up the security cameras, and yeah, and I thought, dude, my nephew's not going to be back for a while. They come over here because they think the rules are more laxed. Until it's time for me to go to bed. Oh, wow, that's printed. Well, that's even better. That's a nice hood, though. I wish it wasn't printed, but that's printed. Well, how many more goodies are in here? Oh, that's not printed. I thought that would be. Because right when I was ready to start filming this, the doorbell goes ringing, and I looked at the thing. I thought, oh no, I don't feel like entertaining today. I got to get this stuff going, you know. Because Monday I got 38 sets coming in one big clump, so I'm going to have a lot of fun there. And I really, 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 really don't want to deal with it, but they're coming. One of the themes is going to have a lot of commentary. The other one I don't know yet. But we're going to have a lot of fun putting these ones together, so it's going to be a nice little treat here to do, you know, that kind of thing. I always like to have sets like this that have really oddball colors, and a lot of the sets that I'm getting are going to have just that, a lot of oddball colors. Even better. So, what I mean by oddball colors is stuff like purples, magentas, like we got purple, light purple, whatever. I think they call that magenta. But for me, or lavender, I don't know my purple colors. But for me though, I don't mind getting sets like this because I could use these pieces for other things. You know, they're oddball colors, and you know, I mean, hey, I could always use them. Oh, I thought I saw the light was flickering. Make sure that bulb is tightened down in there. Alright. And yeah, brick-built animals are not really my thing. And I'm stuck with it. So I got to build this one today. It's the biggest out of all the Disney sets I got to put together. So what I'm going to do today is just put this one together. Enjoy it. And do something else after this. I'm still hanging up Christmas lights and stuff. So that's pretty much what I've been doing. And out of all the sets that I've got, there's not really a whole lot of parts I need to finish up tutorial, so I got to place a parts order this weekend. It's great too with Christmas, and I got to buy Christmas gifts. I can't use that right now for that. I got to buy us stuff for that. So I have to use the donation funding for that, which is what it's for. Not too bad there. Okay, and now I'm putting some plates on the front here. So I don't know how this one's going to go. I'm timing myself right now. I may split this one down, but I don't like splitting in building guides. I don't want to just do that because like this is a quickie. There's no need to split this thing into 3 build installments for such a small set. And I did read some of the comments on here. Some of you prefer the sets or these being like one big mass video, so you don't have to hunt down part 1, part 2. So that might be a thing here. They use these for feet. Oh, that's kind of cool. I would have used them for leaves, but well, I'll save the leaf parts for my own personal builds later. So that's what they did there. Yeah, so right now I'm just kind of building sets and hiding and not wanting to be bothered today. My mom was on the fence about buying something. I said, well, we should have ordered it when we had the chance because it would have been here today. Sadly, now she changed her mind. She goes, can you get it tomorrow? I said, well, I can, but you're going to have to pay more for the shipping. And then there's the, I'm hoping to get it before the tariffs get to it. Some of this stuff is very rare. I had another customer asked me today, can I build them a gaming PC for their child? And I said right now is not a good time. I said if you're willing to drop about $8,000 to build one because the prices of RAM and everything else has gone up, tariffs and all that stuff. And I said the best thing to do is just to buy a used computer or buy a pre-build from a retail store. You'll get a better deal. You may not get a 5090, you may not even get anything decent, or even you may get a lot of bloatware, but I was just being kind about it. And two, I don't have a lot of time right now to even build anybody a PC, let alone even do my own stuff. So it's like that kind of thing. Yeah, so things have been kind of busy here. Well, that's already falling apart. We're going to have to give this thing like a 9.8 because these legs are going to keep falling off until we're done here. Olaf Bruni, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Okay, now it looks like we're focusing our attention on the heads. Looks like the body's done. Yeah, so these videos here probably are going to take some time to do. I'm not a fan of editing big, massive, long videos at all. Just not. But it might be worth it so you guys don't have to hunt all the parts down. Obviously, this is the tongue, I think. It tells me to close it. Keep the tongue inside. Nobody wants you to lick them to death. Especially when you have like a lab or a golden retriever and that's all they want to do is slurp you. It's like, I like you, I'm going to lick all over you. Yeah. Alright, so this goes over here. Okay, so this is actually a nose. There's been some talk about Pokemon sets. Even Lego has announced it, and I think more or less the Pokemon sets are going to be like this in a way. Would it bother me? Not really. I know I did get some comments. Am I going to do those? If Lego sends them to me, I will. But I'm not. I don't even know what they're like. If they're brick-built animals, I'm not going to be all like, oh, you know, I'm dying to have this. If they're brick-built like this, I'll probably be like, you know, but maybe I will. I don't know yet. We shall see. I think that... Okay. Make sure it's really pushed down good so it doesn't fly out of my hand again. This could have been a Charizard or something, but no, what am I doing? Disney stuff. Pokemon's real, right? But if I get the sets here, I will review them. If they're not here, and it's something I'm just 100% not interested in, I probably will pass on them. Okay, so... oh yeah, we got some eye pieces. Oh no, I got more of those. So they go in like that. So I'm just going to stick them on there and position them later. Okay, so like that. And then that's where they go. Right inside where the wheel wells, like where they go here. Boy, I'm just being a klutz today. I'm dropping parts all over the place. So now I can just rotate these eyes like that. Okay. So it goes like this. Hope you can see what I'm doing. I have a glare on this screen on this camera, and it's kind of hard. Just trying to line up the little dots there. There we go. With the jaw that opens up. Lego's gotten better at making brick-built animals, huh? Maybe the Pokemon stuff would be kind of cool. Watch out, parents. He can only say yes, too. So, yeah, not too bad. But I don't think we're done with him yet. Because we got a lot of little flames to put on him here. It's like Spiral the Dragon. I'm really surprised there's not a Spiral the Dragon set. That'd have been epic. For those who know who Spyro is. And don't you roll off. Yeah, I just kind of miss doing tutorials. I'm right now editing a tutorial right now for YouTube members. So it's a pretty good one. It's one that I've been stuck on for the last probably 6-7 months. And had finally found a solution to build it. So that's what I'm doing. And it's going to be delayed just a little bit. I'm not going to worry about too much because I got to get other stuff done. And yeah, I think we're done here with him. That only took me well, with the unbox and everything, about 18-19 minutes. That's not bad. I may have to split this booger down. But that's what we have remaining there for bag one. And yeah, let's take a closer look at them here. I'm trying to find a bin here to put parts in. So just give me a second. There, I'll put them in there. Alright. I mean, it's not too bad. So when I do the tour of this, I will bring it up to the camera and show it. But there you go. So he's done. Alright, now we're going to move on to bag two. And this one feels big, but I have a feeling it's probably going to have a lot of small parts in there. Oh, it's yucky white. With things stuck inside. There's still parts. If I just rip the bag open like that and rip it all out. And now I got parts all over the floor. That's the only bad thing about paper bags. It's hard to get everything out of them. My patience is kind of worn thin today too, if you haven't already noticed. Every time I wanted to sit down and do this or something, I had to stop and do something else. So you think of 2 points as a straight line, A and B, and you got a straight line. No, mine's has always got routes and different twists and turns and stuff. So now it looks like we're turning our attention to Olaf. I'm hoping this is going to be an easy one to put together. So let's start sorting pieces out because I need this here. Alright. Yeah, these videos are not to be considered or construed as professional product reviews, how-tos, or tutorials. tutorials. These are just merely my notes for when I do the review offers and stuff. And yeah, so I may make a mistake in the build, so watch the videos all the way through. Because I had to block somebody today for that, unfortunately. So watch it all the way through. If I make a mistake, just, you know, okay, I see you made a mistake, that's fine, but I'm kind of getting pooped on answering those kind of questions. So it's like, yeah, this is probably the base of Olaf. We don't know what this is yet. I got a bunch of 2x6 bricks, so I'm kind of happy to see those, but wish they were in some wacky color other than tan. So right now I'm editing a tutorial. I'm processing another video. I got the security cameras pulled up. I have everything going right now. I gotta turn on my blow-ups for the front yard. I got those little air ones with the fans and stuff. Oh, I could live without, but they were given to me to decorate the yard. I'm like, okay, fine, and yeah. Can't wait till Christmas is over. And I can put all this stuff up and go back to my bachelor life again. Well, I'm not even a bachelor anymore, but now, these are nice, but let's set these over here because that's all I've been tripping. This bag's got a lot of big parts, so it's not like I'm screaming on this one. It's just mostly white, which Olaf is mainly made of snow. Yeah, so this is probably Olaf's lower body. Oh, 2x3s in yellow. Boy, those will come in handy. Wish they were orange for the pumpkin projects, but hey, I'll take those too. I've been getting more questions asked about building guides. Can I jump onto a building guide or something like that? If I have time, I will try to get them quickly, but I cannot make any guarantees. Didn't get anybody mad at me for it. It's just right now I am just completely booked with stuff right now, and to try to get to a building guide right offhand is going to be a bit of a challenge, but I will try my best. If it's already something I've already done, I will, but I'm trying to go back on the older stuff too. Okay, now we got to put these in, but they face inside like that. So we must be putting something there. Those old headlight bricks, they work pretty good for things, don't they? And that's what you're supposed to look like so far. You know. Yeah, I got to get some stuff to bake some cookies. Thinking of peanut butter, snickerdoodle, chocolate chip, and some icing cookies, like sugar cookies with icing. Would be kind of cool. Like I don't know, I just want to bake something, and decorate it, and just kind of have fun with it. And I think that'd be kind of cool there. We've only spent 5 minutes. We're pretty much halfway done with this one. All right. Okay, now it looks like we're putting something in the middle here, so I'm not sure what this is yet, but I think I'm just going to index this thing as lower base or something like that. I mean, he's like a snowman, right? So just like you got the lower part, middle part, and top part, then accessories, so it'd be just like doing that. I don't know, I don't know anything about Olaf. I just know who he is. I've never really sit down and watched Disney movies. I'm not really much into that type of thing, so I mean, I'm mostly into action-packed thrillers, like movies where there's somebody just getting shot up and stuff. Those type of movies, those violent ones. You know, something that'll keep me entertained. As far as for animation, not so much. Okay, we got a hinge plate here. You know, this is one thing I do like about Lego, though. And I've said this in a million videos, but I don't have to look at a screen. I don't have to think. I can just do. You know what I mean? And then this guy here goes with this thing here tilted like this. And this here sits like, hold on. Let me make sure, did I do something wrong? Okay, I was supposed to put these along one side here. My bad, and for somebody who's told me off in the comments, I'm sorry. You know what's going to happen. Now I can put that where it's supposed to be. See, I made a mistake, but see, I corrected it as I go. Now I don't think it matters at this point because these are going to be next here anyways. So, but brick-built animals, I got to be very careful. This would have made a nice little hamburger if you stretch it out. It'd make a nice sandwich, like a bun for a sandwich. Yeah, if for those who have been asking about comments on videos, if you already have noticed, I'm getting caught up on things. Okay, so you may want to swing your hinge up a little bit. So here's what I would do with this. Take your hinge, leave it like this, stick this tile on here, and then tip that down like that. I think that's what they wanted. And that looks a lot better. Okay? Because we don't want that coming off there. And that takes care of that. Okay, now it looks like we're building some small stuff here. These are kind of cool too. I don't know what to use them for, but we got to make 2 of them. Stick that in there. If you ever want to pop those tiles, just take a long shaft and just pop them out. Okay. And then after that, we got to reverse our studs. So just take 2 of these, stack them together, and just shove them on there like that. These could be the feet that go at the bottom. We don't know. Whoops. We have no clue yet. We're not even done, so we can't name it. I'm just going to line these notches up right there. Why not? To make it more professional. I should make myself a professional Lego YouTuber. All right. Now we got to make 2 of these. These are good for life preservers. But I want to thank everyone for taking the time to watch these videos too. You know, there's some out there who don't even thank their audience for watching their videos. Oh, that goes like that? How'd that even happen? Let's line up all the holes for just purposes that we need to know here. And then we're almost done because now I just have 1 of each of the little parts. Now I got 2 of these, so we might need another one. Oh no, we do need another one. So shove those in there like that. There we go. We're not done yet though. And these go like this. Okay. If yours are crooked like that, you can just rotate them and make them go like that. Okay. So those could be arms, we don't know. Well, maybe it's legs, maybe he's sitting. And then these just stick in here. That's why they have the headlight bricks. This stud will fit in here and it really will lock these in here. Just really push them in. And yeah, those ain't going anywhere. That's really thought out very well. Very well. I like to see things really locked in because that means it's going to be durable. It doesn't fall apart. And that's what we have remaining there for the bottom of Olaf for bag 2. And yeah, that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Okay, now we're going to be moving on to bag 3. So I think we've spent like almost 30 minutes on this video, so I might be able to wing this out in maybe an hour and a half. Means I won't be able to film anything else for the day, but you know, hey, that's fine by me. This looks like it goes right in the middle here. And yeah, so looks like we're going to be building the middle tier. Does it even tell us what we're building? Yeah, it looks like it's the part that goes in the middle of that. Sometimes when you're building sets, though, this is the kind of thing I like to think, like, what are we building? Like, what part does this actually go to? Like, what's our objective today? These are good for water fountains, so there you go. And it takes care of that. There's a laser I have on the camera that's pointed right here. You can't see it, but the viewfinder can. And it's telling me like that, right where you're seeing that, that's right in the center where we're working at here. I'm trying to use more of the features on this camera. And it's really cool to have everything set up just right where it's working. Helps when you read the instructions, like, okay, I got to make things where I'm not building like right over here. Like I see a dot right there. That's right in the center of the screen right there. So I put that right back to where it is. Like I said, you can't see it on there, which is really cool. And sometimes it's just better to have, you know, stuff that's a little more, that's the beauty about professional, you know, something that's more professional here. Consumer grade doesn't have that, but I wish they did, you know. And okay, now we got to build two of these things here. I've been having this sharp pain in my arm for the last 2 to 3 weeks. It kind of shoots down the side of my hand. It didn't start until I got up in my attic and it was, you know, in the crawl space. So I've been kind of laying on it wrong and stuff. So I got to have that checked out. The only problem about getting older, things fall apart faster. Yeah, but I got to laugh it off or I will go nuts. I got to get a haircut. I'm thinking about getting one before Christmas time, and Barbara was sending me a notification like, hey, are you available for a haircut? He was asking me, and I said I'm going to try to get one before the kiddies get out of school. And he goes, well, you better act fast. You got about 10 days. I was like, uh-oh, I got to hurry up and get going on that there. You know, and yeah. But that's a chore in itself. You know, that kind of thing. Alright. Now, I wonder if that hole goes all the way through. No, it doesn't. Uh-oh. But I'm sure they're going to put a shaft in there because we got this. So I bet these are going to be married to one another here eventually. And here we go. I gotta find something to make for dinner tonight. Last night we had pancakes and sausage, which was really yummy. I'm not much of a pancake eater, but boy, those were really good last night too. I told my bunch, I said, tonight I'm going to make some meat. I don't care what kind of meat, as long as it's meat. Since I've been off, I've been having more fast food than anything else. I said, as long as it's not fast food. Okay, that goes in there like that, because now we're ready to join these two items together and get them married. So yeah, as long as the button, and that goes right in that center hole right there. And the reason why Lego did that is now you can't just split these apart. Boy, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Looks really good. Very strong, and yeah. Okay, now it looks like we're turning our attention to the hands. And if the hands are mirrors, I'm just going to be inclined to do them. And it looks like they are. So I think what I'm going to do here is just do it like that first. The reason being is, and these are nice to have in brown, these would be good for plant parts. just to speed up the build a bit more. Now, when you're building your set, you do not have to do this. If you do not feel comfortable in mirroring things just to speed the build, you shouldn't have to do that. I'm doing it because I got a whole load coming in next week. So I have an excuse. I have to do that. And now we got to put the fingers. And so these are just going to be arms and hands. If I saw this coming after me, I'd be kind of scared. Having some kind of creepy brown bony hand come after you that's like sticks, like wood. Like, uh-oh, I'm in the wrong place. Okay, some kind of log hand. Made out of log sticks, a stick hand. I would have put that in there a bit better there. Okay. This one's from the book, this one's is its mirror. And then now, we put these together here. Now I think these are just going to be clones, but now there's two sides to this. And let me show you here, and I get these in here. There's a square side and a rounded side. The square side's kind of matted, the round side is shiny. I try to match those up. You don't have to, you can do it any way you want, but there you go. That's how I did mine. So I try to match them up. Okay, like that. And then after that, we got to put more ball joints in here. Well, these parts are getting smaller and smaller. My nails are so short I can't pick them up. Okay, and then after that, we install these on here. This part outside here, like that. So you can have the creepy hand just kind of gonna get you kind of thing. Okay, now these go here. Let's see here. So it's kind of wrapped like this, and this goes in here. Okay. That means this other one goes right here. Now I'm going to review my work. Now, if you put yours on backwards, you can just rotate it. And then there we go. Okay. Then we've already built that. Got that hand done there. And then this last hand here has a snowflake thing. So it's holding on to something. So it looks like it's just sitting inside the palm of his hand on his log palm. Move the thumb out of the way and set that there. Now we can just do it like that. And that's how that's supposed to be on there. Okay. And then that's it. That's it. That's what we have done for bag 3 with only one part remaining. So it just does the middle part and arms. Now I could stop right now and split this video up, but you know what? Let's do bag 4. It's got me worried because it's small. But this one here does the head. So let's see what we got here. I may need to label these as spoilers because some people don't want to be spoiled on the build. I may end up doing these as a spoiler on how to put the set together. Okay, let's start here. This is a... Ooh, this one's got a lot of these snot pieces. Look at that. Red is a color I don't have a whole lot of. We got red and yellow. Yeah, if you're looking for those, that's a good place. You even got some brown ones in there too. It's like a brickhead set, but this one's bigger. And you got more of these. Look at it, they just keep coming and coming, huh? That's a lot. That's just right there. That's just snot bricks, just right there that you could use for some other things. So if you're looking for things like that and you see this set on sale or clearance, there you go. And you got these things here too that are kind of companions to those. And that one had to fall right underneath the tripod. But yeah, so if you're looking for stuff like that, there you go. Are you going to part this out, Jay? Most likely yes, because this is not something I'm interested in. I may just put it on display for the holidays, but that kind of thing. But that's all I'm going to do here with this one. If you're watching this on an iPad, let me know if, or like a mobile device. Now, of course, I could zoom it in like that too. I keep forgetting to do that. But if you're watching already on a small device, you can zoom in and zoom in if you wish. And now we can take some of these yellow ones, because they have the 8 studs like that. Put those in. Those are always handy. You know, at first I thought, oh man, what a waste of plastic. What am I going to use those for? Now I use these things like crazy now. Like this is just a column piece. That's nothing special, but I got plenty of these. I rarely use those if I ever did. It's just very rare. Okay. You're building cars or even that work trailer, these are handy. If you want to put siding on a building, get enough of them in one color, you're fine. I need to get some of these too. These are good for like snow and stuff, so that's even better. Okay. And then now we put the brown ones in the back. And the red ones go in the front. I'm not sure what we're doing. We know it's the head, but it's starting to get kind of weird here. I got to straighten that back out. And then we're building a tower here. So yeah, when I do the review on this, I'm just going to do just a quick 360 spin. I probably don't even need a turntable, or I may just put it on a turntable. I got it cleaned off. I don't think I'm supposed to put that other one in there. Nope, that's not supposed to go in there. My bad. So it looks like we're just building the chassis for the head, but you know, this one's going kind of fast now. We're going fast on this one. I thought, oh, this is going to take a few hours, but no, this one's going quick now. There we go. That's what you're supposed to look like, I think. You know, we don't know. And then now we got to put more on the top here. It's really kind of unstable right now. Let me back the zoom out here for you. So this is how Olaf is made. It's got all the snot bricks. When you watch the show, now you know what's inside of him. Okay. Doesn't look like Olaf yet, huh? Doesn't look like anything. Alright. And then now, let's see here. You know what? I'm making sure that there's not a mirror here. Oh, okay. There is mirrors on this. Put this guy here. Let's mirror it right now while we're here. Why? Just because I don't want to have to risk it and waste my time. Like I said, I'm pressed for time right now. And I kind of want to go outside and do some more work and not sit in the house today. So, and that kind of thing. Okay. And then this guy here, it goes like that. And now it shows that this one goes here, like that. That means this mirrored one goes like that. Okay. It's like a base plate on top. And then we're right back to here. Let's keep it the way it is. It's wanting us to put this one here. It tells me this one goes here. So Olaf's head is obviously going to be split into several bags, since we haven't even gotten that far yet on here. So yeah, these pieces here are very nice. We just got to get a few more of those. Now, if anything changes, then I have to go check my work. But so far, it looks like we're doing pretty good. with this one here. It doesn't look like anything, does it? It looks kind of just, doesn't look all, Olaf looks like you've seen better days. I don't know which one's front or back yet. We don't know. Looks like a computer mouse. Okay, do the other side, which is the same. Yeah, okay, we know that. Put that in there. Okay, good. And now we're working on the top part right there. Making sure the brown is in the back. Yeah, not too bad at all. And I think this is going to wrap up bag 4. We're breezing through this one today. And that's it. With no parts remaining. Isn't that cool? Alright, now we're moving on to bag 5. Well, I saw big parts until I saw the little bag in there, so we're going to have a little bit of everything now. What's the score in this set right now? I'm probably going to say probably a 9.8. The build quality, it's pretty good, but just, yeah, you had a few issues with that purple thing, but yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. So we'll keep it back on this. Now you don't want to put this flat on the workbench because of this. You may want to hold this in the palm of your hand and build it like that. I think that's probably going to be the safe way of doing things here, like this. Okay. Well, yeah, we know that we're going to be finishing that up now, huh? So everything's printed in here. Maybe I may not even, this, at least we're not fighting with stickers. Putting stickers on that would be a brute. I wouldn't want to do that anyways. And yeah, I'd say that this is a good one. This would be a good one. Now, as far as for collaborative build, I'm not sure yet. I'm not really feeling this one as a collaborative build. I'm looking for another one of those. Oh, I see it. I think this might be the back portion of the head. Alright, we got to set that off to the side because now we got to build more stuff here. We haven't really hit the small pile of bricks yet. Oh, spoke too soon. Now I got to hit that, I think. Uh-oh, I built it backwards. What do I do? Just flip it around? There we go. That's better, huh? I got to have fun here. Olaf and his picnic. Oh boy, I can't wait to go on a picnic. No, it's not picnic time. You know why? It's too cold outside for a picnic right now. Matter of fact, that heater has not turned off, so I wonder if somebody cranked up the thermostat again, and if they do, they're going to get a lecture from me because I'm tired of roasting right now. When it was just me living here, I didn't run the heat all that much because I always like it cold. But I think that's how that goes in. Yep. I always liked it cold in the house. Warm just made me feel all sluggish. Alright, let's put that back in the palm of my hand so we can, because I don't want this thing to crumple apart. You know, I'm trying to prevent things from falling apart here. Okay. And then we put this big thing in the middle here. This is a windshield, like a windscreen for like a bullet train or something like that. You know, today it's going to be the back of Olaf's head. That's what I'm assuming this is. And then we got to stick his spinal cord in there. We know that's going to be married to that thing over there. This is a microphone for like a CB radio or walkie-talkie, or an old classic microphone. All right, now we want to flip this over. And now we're going to get going on to finishing this up here with that right there. Now, could you build this on something flat? You could, but, you know, I mean, it's going to roll around. It's just best to keep this thing in my hand for right now. And just to kind of take control of it here. It's kind of oddballed. Should build it like that, like the way the book shows me. Does it look like Olaf yet? I mean, here's the eyes, here's a nose, and there's the mouth. That's what I'm guessing. It looks like there's a face on there. You know, we're getting somewhere. Got a face going, so it's starting to look like something. This is why I like sharing my ideas with you guys and gals, is I'm sharing my imagination. It's all about imagining, and if you're around my age, if you're in your 40s, yeah, it's hard to imagine stuff because most people around my age are busy with trying to see things in reality. But sometimes exploring your imagination is just as fun. It's more entertaining. It's free entertainment. You don't have to pay for it. So just sitting here and exploring your mind is just as good. How do you think these creators do this stuff? You know, a Lego creator, a designer, is an artist. He or she's an artist. They're putting this stuff together. Now we're getting the small stuff. They design this stuff, and it's like when I design my stuff, it's stuff that I see in my mind, like, that seems like it'd be interesting. How can I share this? Okay, I got Lego. That's how I'll share it. Okay, start there. Then I start building up a tutorial and all that stuff. Does it look like Olaf? Not yet. We're getting somewhere, though. Now, I had another question today about speed builds on sets. Like I do my tutorials. Could I do them? If I have a bunch of free time, I can, but I'm not, because I don't have free time. I could do the digital renders of these. And two, a lot of these parts, these are brand new sets, they just don't exist. I would have to draft up parts myself, and I've done it a few times, but it's not something I really want to do again, so I'd leave that up to somebody else. Oh, these pieces are really handy, these little 1x1 quarter rounds. Every time I would build a bed, there would be something in the way, but now these are not. That's perfect. And then this goes here. Then after that, and I'm hoping the quality today is a little better. Let me back this out just a hair for you. I know some of you said my hands are always the way. I try to prevent that, but there's just sometimes I have to. The bigger stuff I have to do here. Okay. The book shows you here too. You take the pegs and you stick them inside the holes. Like that. And this is how they do it. I never thought about writing up my guides like that, so I'll have to come up with something similar like they did here. So yeah, that has to sit right in the middle. In the book it doesn't show it, but it does sit in the middle. Yeah, if the Pokemon characters are going to be like this, I think that those are going to be good sets to build too. I just hope and at least get a sample of them so I can share them with you guys and gals. There won't be speed builds, so if you're looking for those, sorry kiddies, no speed builds on this channel. This is for mature Lego builders. Let's say the speed builds for previews. All right. Okay, so these are kind of cool here. When I was doing tiling in my house years ago, I used to have tiles like that, and you get like the quarter round and stuff, like for going around showers and stuff. And yeah, that's kind of hard to get in there. Don't roll around. Behave. Ruining my TV show. Alright. Yeah, it's starting to look like Olaf, isn't it? There's the mouth, I think. I mean, we're getting somewhere. Oh. Okay, that makes it easier. But we're missing something there. Did you steal that from old Carrot Top? Is that what happened? Yeah, my nephew's got that bright red hair. Naturally red, and yeah, some of his buddies call him Carrot Top. Yeah, I don't know. I was just thankful that I was just blonde, but I was so blonde that my eyebrows and stuff never showed. I looked like I didn't have any eyebrows at all because my hair was so white when I was a kid. It was like a white blonde, like a platinum blonde. And, oh, push to shove and things happened, and then it turned into a doo-doo brown, and then yeah, just like a light brown, but kind of stuck with it now. It was more like a dark blonde. Kind of wish it would have stayed blonde, but you know. Yeah, and we got to shove this into here. Let's just pop that right in there. Now he can smell the lies, huh? Make him into Pinocchio, make his nose grow. And then now we got to marry the head onto here. Okay, so that goes right there. Like that. And by the time we're done, I mean, it looks fragile, but look, I can't even bend any of this stuff unless I really force it. But that's not bad at all. That takes care of that, but we still have some parts left over. We're not quite done yet. Because now we got to put together some kind of thing on his head, like a twig. I don't know what that is. Is that it? Just a twig? Like an antenna? Is that how he receives all those extra channels so he can watch TV, is by doing that? Okay, right there. And 1, 2, did I forget to do something? No, I did not. 1, 2, 3, 4. But we're not done yet. He's still got another antenna. So he's got to have his terrestrials installed. So he can pick up terrestrial stuff. So he can contact ET and help him phone home, huh? Like that. So he's missing a part of his twig. Maybe that's his hair. We don't know yet. And that's it. And yeah, for some reason, I managed not to smurf up on this one. Not too bad at all. And this is what we have remaining. Well, the other one rolled off. Let me get that real quick. I'm trying not to make these videos long, so I'm trying to speed through it here. But this is what we have remaining here for bag 5. Okay, well now we got Olaf and Bruni all done. Now we can turn our attention to bag 6. And I want to thank everyone on my main channel and Patreon for being contributors. It's always a big help, because one day we'll be able to do the really big stuff, which is soon, for something big. And 2, more building guides for you. You know, that kind of thing. And get this situated here. And we're also moving on to booklet 3 here. I also want to thank everyone for checking out my Rebrickable profile and taking a look at my building guides, and for purchasing. It's always also a big help. And most importantly, thank you to all my subscribers who take the time to subscribe to this channel and comment and all that stuff. And if you like this channel, feel free to subscribe. It's free. I don't even charge for that. It's just, you just join, right? And if you're not sure, I'll understand, or you just don't like this, how I do things. So now we're doing this, and I thought this we're going to get a cool yellow plate. I didn't know it was tan, but that would be good for a beach scene. So now it looks like bag 6 is accessories. But I'm guessing right now, somebody could do bags 1 and 2, or however this thing's broken down. You could break this down into sections. This could be a collaborative build. I'd say 1 or 2 people can build this one, and no more, no less. Yeah, so now it looks like we are turning our attention to the picnic blanket. And yeah, as far as for mentioning about donations and stuff, it does not go towards purchasing sets. It does not go to that at all. No sets. Okay? None of that. It goes for raw parts. Some guys I know have these multiple tiers, like on Patreon, they have like 5 or 6 tiers. I only have 1 tier. Keep it simple. On YouTube, on my main channel, some people have 5 or 6 tiers. I only have 1. Why? Keep it simple. You know, I don't want to make it complicated. So it looks like we got ourselves some light royal blue. Okay, we're going to have to be careful with this. We got dark azure. Alright, so Alright, so what am I going to do here? We got this here. We're not sure yet. Let's just kind of follow the book here. Alright, I'm looking for... Here's a lighter piece here, but we're not ready for that yet. Let's start pulling out parts here. If you're not sure, just do what I'm doing. Just like, okay, I don't know where it's going. That's the color I needed right there. And then that kind of thing. So this could be a little overwhelming for people who are not really used to doing tiling. All right, I don't blame you. Doing patterns are hard to start. Once you start them, they'll go quick. So what we're going to do here is just do this. I did get another question though asked about, do I ever accept donations on this channel? Like, do I have like a memberships thing? No, I don't have memberships on here. There's really nothing to have memberships on. I don't have anything to give you on this channel here. So that's why you don't see a memberships tab on this one here. I don't just have no reason to have it on here at all. This one's just set building, so that's all I can offer. So yeah, that's all I can do. Forgot to put that one right there. Now these are nice pieces for fire rings. I can use that for that, but that's obviously not the right color I need. It looks good on the building guide, but not so much in person. Of course, we're not done yet. I got the sand color. Maybe they're having a picnic at the beach. We don't know. Now, like I said, I'm just trying to pull out things by color. I'm looking for 1x2s right now. So I'm just kind of pulling out pieces right now, getting these ready to go. So the review on this set's going to be very easy. I'm just going to sit down and just put it on a turntable, 360 spin, and then just bring it up close and show its features. And then that's it. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this one here. That kind of thing. I just don't want to burn through a whole memory card doing a detailed review on it. And plus this one here you can pretty much see up close. You know, yeah, we don't need that. Don't need that. I've been wanting to get some of these. Well, this set looks like it comes with a decent amount of them here. But see, I could do steps 5 and 6 together. So I may just do that. Yeah, a buddy of mine today here in town got called for jury duty. And I thought, oh, I don't want to deal with that. But it's the holiday, so they'll get them out of there quick. And for me, I don't want to deal with jury duty. So it's like when he told me about that, I was like, oh no, I don't want to deal with jury duty. And there's another, more of like an acquaintance. I don't really like this guy all that much. He has never once been called for jury duty because of his past, and I thought, man, you're lucky, I don't have to worry about that. But this guy is not a nice guy, so it's like, yeah, well, let's start grabbing these here before I do something stupid. The only ones that are in checker pattern is the medium azure. Okay, and then now we got the darker color here. This would make a nice quill pattern, huh? Okay, I'm finding jumper plates that I don't need right now. Okay, that takes care of that. Yeah, looks like the book. I just got a long ways to go there. And the jumper plates are just meant to fix accessories down to the blanket, so that's even better. So let's start putting our accessory spots in here. Now I'm going to do steps 7 and 8 together. Jumper plates are done, but what I'm going to go ahead and do is just stick these in right now. Kind of get these out of the way here. Also, it's another way to do it too. You can just pick a color. Oh, leafy pieces. Not the colors I need. This one would be fine, but this, I think we'd be both fall colors. That would work, huh? These are checkerboards, so we'll start sticking these in here. Oh yes, I am going to have to ding a point off this set. I didn't, when we were doing the unboxing, there was one thing missing, and that's a brick separator. For something like this, if I make a mistake, it would be very not so good. So I think a brick separator here would have warranted in this set here. So why didn't Lego include that? I don't know. It would have been nice. They're just cutting corners on sets. I mean, we're messing with some big pieces, but still, there should have been one included here. Alright, and then the leaves get attached here. You'd think they would have went around and made a whole blanket out of this, but it looks like it's just kind of a... I don't know what they were doing here. Maybe those are the tie downs to tie the blanket down. Looks like we're building a marshmallow on a stick. Okay, let's slide that off to the side there. Plenty of these candle pieces. Skipped a step. Alright, let's do this part here first. I don't have any of those in that color. I'm missing a candle piece. It's not in the building guide, so it's probably in bag 6 somewhere. Probably in the little 6. No, it's not. It's not even on the floor. I don't see it anywhere. Yeah, if I have to dig for a special color, I have to fail it, and I don't want to do that yet. Let's make sure here. Let's sort everything out here. Let's check everything. Oh, there it is. I'll say, because I don't think I have this candlestick piece in this color, so that would not have ended very well. It almost looks more like we're building a fishing pole. So this probably clamps into Olaf's hand. And then now we got to build the marshmallow that's toasted. Whoops. I'm not much into toasted marshmallows. But there we go. I was going to say it was a scepter or something, but yeah, that takes care of that. Now we're going to be building, it looks like we're going to be making a campfire ring with this. So yeah, that's what this thing was intended for. Kind of an odd color for a campfire, that's what I'm guessing it is. Or it could be a cup. We don't know. Sometimes I don't know. The box kind of deceives you, and I'd rather build it in person to find out exactly what it is. So if I make a mistake, then so be it. I'm thinking it's a cup of hot chocolate just because of the colors of this, and this brown tile kind of gives it away. I mean, kind of silly if it was in front of a campfire. So yeah, we're just doing a bunch of accessories with this bag here. It's just, the part count on this is not bad for what we're getting here. The parts are just average. I would say it's just a little bit of everything. So it's not like we're just messing with small parts. So we're doing a little bit of everything today with this one here. So I'm not going to say that, oh, it wasn't like that shopping street modular where we were just messing with nothing but small parts. This one here, you got a little bit of everything here to mess with, which is even better. So it's best to put this tile on first. And yeah, I think this is a mug. More than anything. Boy, you can tell I'm just not really kind of focused today, huh? And that goes right in there. Okay, like that. Okay. And then after that, that's the accessories, and now we got to set it up. So let me put these here away, and that's what we have remaining for bag 6. And bag 6 basically just did accessories. Okay, so I think the score on this set is going to be a 9, just to no brick separator, and some of the, I mean, the builds are built pretty good, but kind of get this situated for you folks here, and we'll be ready to go. I still not put those cleats on the bottom of this. I really need to do that before I have to go back to work. It means I got to drag out the shop tools a bit, but yeah. Olaf, you're not so big after all. I thought maybe you'd be taller, but maybe I can just get a little closer here and drop this camera down. Once it's all together, it doesn't look all that bad, does it? I may have to move this a little bit here. Let's see here. Does the book show us how to put it all on there? Or does it really matter? I'm sure they're going to anchor down to this. Yeah, so the studs on the front, so they show it like this. Now the leaves should have been anchored down a bit better, so you got to be careful here. And they have the fire ring here. That means Olaf sits there, not the fire cup of coffee, hot chocolate. All right. Okay. Whatever, you know. Are we all zoomed out here? Okay. And then Olaf, he just sits on there. Just kind of place him down, and he should lock right in place there. I mean, he takes up the whole blanket, so his buddy doesn't even have enough space. And yeah, so when I pick this up, I'll just kind of do a demonstration on it. And then he has the thing here for his hot chocolate, his marshmallow. You know, that kind of thing. And the reason why I'm putting this on a turntable is so I can just rotate it for you instead of have to get my hand in the way. Now, when I do this, I think what I'm going to do here, I'm tripping over bags. You know what? Let's let me drop this camera down here. So sorry for those who are motion sickness. I have to do this here because it's a little too high for my liking. So you can take a look at the my old stereo speaker. That's the workbench, guys and gals. A lot of the big professionals, they have the big giant Lego room. I have never changed this room. I don't see the need to. You know why? The imagination is what I'm after. And for me personally, just to, you know, I'm probably the only one that's in the Ambassador Network. I got to find out. I may ask a question on there and maybe give a follow-up on one of my videos. Like, how many of you in here do not have a fancy Lego room? Just work at the kitchen table. Or just do this kind of half-baked. You know, because for me, I don't do things professionally here. That's not how I am. You know, the goal is to see how the set went together. Is it fun? All that stuff. And yeah, I'd say that this one here is ready to go. So, quick field test here. And what I'm going to do is bring everything up close. But I think we're pretty good here. This is just a quick review. Not too bad. This is really fast. I'd say the only thing I have to say wrong with this set is the lack of a brick separator. I didn't make any mistakes, but what if somebody did? They're going to have to go find a tool. That's probably the only downside to this. I mean, this could have been an easy 10, but, you know. So, yeah, I think we're ready to go here for the review, but, you know, let's just do that. Let's head over to there now. Here we have Bruni and Olaf, and of course he's sitting on a nice picnic blanket with a cup of hot chocolate and a marshmallow and some leaves and stuff like that, which looks really cool. So here's the quick dime tour here. And he's pretty well finished off on the back. And honestly, the construction of this set is really good. I didn't have anything fall apart, and this thing I would say is built a little bit overkill, which is good because it's a nice sturdy display piece. And yeah, so let's take a look here at Bruni. If I'm pronouncing his name right, if I'm not, my bad, you know. So that's what he is. It's just a little brick-built lizard. I don't know what he is, but his bottom jaw does open up like this, or his top jaw or whatever. You know, it's like Pac-Man in a way. And all that stuff there you see on the top of him is printed. Nice little creature, huh? I mean, it's purple and light purple or magenta, and you got the flames on the top. It ain't no Spyro the Dragon, I'll tell you that much right now. And then we have is a little cup of coffee here, or hot chocolate or something. It looks like a little mug. At first I thought this was a fire ring, but no, that's what this is. And pretty cool for just a simple build. And this, of course, can fit in Olaf's hand if desired. We'll take a look at Olaf here in a second, but here's the picnic blanket. These leaf pieces are just tacked in here. I don't like that too much. I feel like these things are going to fall apart, but of course you could take those off if you want. So you get a small portion of a picnic blanket, so if you really want to make this bigger, you'd have to make 3 more pieces like this. Not too bad at all. But nobody cares about that now because we got Olaf here. Here's the base. Maybe I can zoom out here for you here. Oh, maybe I can't. So let's take a look at his head. Not too bad, huh? And everything's really locked together. I mean, everything's got a lot of ball joints. Like even the nose is locked in. And so these are 3 individual sections here, which is cool. Looks like he's holding a snowflake in this hand here, and he's got the marshmallow on a stick. And yeah, I mean, it's very sturdy for what this is. And of course, he just snaps right back onto the blanket here, like that. Now, he's also posable too. His arms move. His head doesn't move. His nose can rotate, but you know, I'll just leave it like that. And like I said, you could take out the accessories. And we can stick this one in here. Just kind of goes inside the hand here. If I can get that positioned right, and then you can just close up the fingers here. Maybe you really can't. So you really can't do much with this here. It might work better in the other hand. Let's try the other hand here. We'll see here. Let's take that snowflake out. And yeah, we're just kind of playing around with this. This is like the demonstration part, so I'm going to stick that right in his hand there. Sorry if my arm's in the way. Yeah, I think it works better in his left hand. As you can see here, it does wrap around that a bit better. So maybe he's a lefty, you know. And of course you can put this back in here. Just kind of make it look like he's grabbing a hold of that. Not too bad. So I would say that it's fully posable. It does have its limitations. Like I can only go so far here. So he can't bend this and drink it. He has to dump it on his side of his cheek. But it's a nice little idea nonetheless. But it's just kind of, he just feels kind of stiff, you know, which is good. But for me personally, putting that back in there, he is somewhat posable. So he can do this, but he can't quite reach it. Oh no! How'd you get that on there? Well, I'll have to think of another way. But I mean, it's a nice little display piece, nothing more. But it could be played with. So we're going to start the review with play value. And despite this just merely being a shelf queen, it is a posable figure, and you could possibly play with it. It is built strong. It's very sturdy, which leads to build quality. It's robust. I didn't have anything fall apart. Everything is locked in with clips or ball joints. So there's really nothing that's going to break off. Maybe this could come off here, but I didn't ever experience that. So this is really built very heavy duty for what we're getting here. Even Bruni here is built very well. So I didn't have any problems with it. My build experience was pretty good. Now, despite all this being white here, and it's kind of a bland color, but this is Olaf we're talking about, so we have to use that color. It still kept my interest throughout the build, which is really good. Even for an adult, a guy like myself, this kept my interest. It was fun to put together because these are colors we normally don't really ever mess with when building with Lego. and I'm pretty pleased with it, with the color palette. This one did keep my attention throughout the build. I would have just had broken the build installments up into several pieces, but no, this one did it. This one was really good. And I'm pretty pleased with this. I'm pretty pleased with this here. Now, as far as for city drop-in value, you couldn't put this in a city. Maybe if you have a frozen display, this would look good, but it looks good also as is. In addition, there's a lot of nice pieces that could be used for other Lego creations, or if you want, makes a whole new model out of this. You could do a lot with the parts. So let's say you're tired of this set or it's collecting dust, it's got some useful parts. So even I'm eyeballing these tiles in the greenish blue color. So you know what, I'll be snagging out of this set when I'm done. Now, there's only one drawback with this set, and we mentioned it at the beginning, there is no brick separator. So if you put tiles in the wrong place, thankfully I didn't do that, but if you needed a brick separator, you're going to have to scrounge one up. If this is your first set, it's going to be very difficult. So I have to give this set a 9, just because no brick separator. We were messing with a lot of tiles here and small pieces, and separating plates could be a challenge without that tool. So that's probably the only issue I see with this set. If there was a brick separator with this set, it would have been a 9.8 to 10. But I'm sorry, I have to take a point off without that tool. It'd been nice for this set. So this is their first set you're getting and you do not have that tool. The build could be rough if there's a mistake. But other than that, though, it's a really nice set to put on display either for the holidays or if you just got a Disney theme or you're really into the Frozen. It's not too bad. Like I said, it kept my interest. I wasn't bored with this one. It was really fun to put together, but tell me what you think.